Aryans and the Greeks. Aryans and Greek. The Greeks. Aryans are the people. Before nearly 1500 years before the birth of Christ, these people came from Central Asia. Central Asia, from the place about nearly people, mostly they came from Iran. That is why little bit the distorted name from Iran to Aryan, it was like that. These people came from that place. And because it was a nice fertile land and the farming was in ample and everything was conducive, everything was suitable to them, they settled there. They brought with them the Vedas, which was written in Sanskrit. They spoke Sanskrit, they had written Vedas in Sanskrit. Hence, this period is also known as the Vedic period. Or this period is also, in this period, big epics. Epics means big poems. In your classes you are reading, because you all belong to 4th grade or 4th standard class students. Your poems are nearly 2 stanza or 3 stanza. Epics are big poems which are like book. So big epics were written. Epic in Sanskrit was written. The 2 most famous epic which was written in this period was Ramayana and Mahabharata. These 2 epics was made or written during the ancient India. Now, during this period, the Magad dynasty was the strongest dynasty which came to limelight, and it was founded by Bimbisar. Then the Magad dynasty came to existence. Magad dynasty. Magad dynasty. One of the remarkable and the most powerful king of Magad dynasty was Bimbisar. Bimbisar ruled nearly half of India. It extended from the north, from Jammu and Kashmir to extend up to Bihar, from Odisha till Chhattisgarh to Maharashtra. Half of Indian subcontinent was ruled by Bimbisar, and it was a very strong, and because people were very prosperous at that time. They did not have any problem. Now we are having problem of food, we are having problem of these, that. At that time people were very affluent. They were having very nice everything. So then it was ruled, and it was a nice strong. The Bimbisar had very strong hold on this place. After many years, India was ruled by King Porus. He was also a very strong ruler, very nice, mighty, good ruler. Alexander the Great, he was a Greek ruler, and he wanted to conquer the world. He wanted to become a world leader, to become the owner of the world. In 326 BCE, he decided to attack on India. And that time, King Porus, he gave a nice competition to Alexander the Great. And the war went on for some days. And finally, Alexander the Great, he won the battle. After winning the battle, Alexander, he was impressed by the bravery of Porus, King Porus. He was very much impressed. Then instead of making him slave, because after it was at those times, it was usual that after a king wins the battle, he used to take the other king as slave. But instead of taking him as slave or as a prisoner, what did Alexander the Great did? He gave away the kingdom, most part of the kingdom, to King Porus, which he had taken after the battle to rule. And thus King Porus, from that day, the bravery and the strength of King Porus is famous in the pages of Indian history. Now, the next kingdom which came into existence in India in ancient time was the Mauryan Empire. The Mauryan Empire. Mauryan Empire was founded by Chandragupta Maurya in 322 BCE. There is an interesting story behind that. Chanakya was the teacher or the force behind Chandragupta Maurya to make him the king. Chanakya, it so happened that at that time India was ruled by the Nanda dynasty, and Dhanananda was a very mighty and a cruel ruler. He was very barbaric. Then what happened? Chanakya was a teacher in Takshila. Takshila is a university at that olden times. It is still now, it is there on the northwest of India and on the borders of Pakistan, somewhere near Balochistan, it is there till then. So at that time, kings used to call the Brahmins to give the alms. Alms means gifts and the things of food, grocery, cloth, etc. they used to give. So Chanakya had come to Dhananand's assembly. While Dhananand was giving the alms, he saw Chanakya, and Chanakya was very ugly looking. So Dhananand, he criticized him for his ugly appearance, insulted him a lot, and ordered his guards and ordered his soldiers to throw Chanakya out of the assembly. Chanakya he became angry and he felt too much insulted, and then he cursed Dhananand. He told him that he will finish Dhananand's empire. Coming in rage, becoming angry, Dhananand made him his prisoner. Chanakya felt too much insulted, and should be. He became too much insulted, and after being released from the prison, he then groomed his disciple Chandragupta. Chandragupta was his pupil, his student, and then because he was having extraordinary talent, he was very much expert in fighting, art of fighting, in art of horse riding, everything. So he continuously taught him, and he made him to learn all the rules, how to conquer, how to win the battle. He taught him, and finally the combination of Chanakya and Chandragupta made the Nanda dynasty, or made Dhananand to come down, and in a battle Dhananand was killed, and Chandragupta Maurya, he became the king, and thus the Mauryan dynasty came into existence. Chandragupta Maurya, after Chandragupta Maurya, his son Bindusara came to power. He was also a good king. He was also very nice. And Bindusara's son, next, the mighty emperor Ashoka the Great. The Great is not simply a title. Actually, it is the Great. Ashoka the Great means he was a very nice king. He expanded his borders and he looked after his subjects very nicely. But initially, in the starting of his career, when he became the king, he was very, very cruel. Ashoka was a very ambitious king. He wanted to expand his borders. He wanted to attack other kingdoms, and he wanted to annex it. He wanted to include that kingdoms in his kingdom. He was very much rude, very much ferocious, very much savage. Savage is ruthlessly, and he was butchering his enemies. Now the turn came to conquer Kalinga, the modern day Odisha. Odisha and parts of Bihar included in Kalinga. He wanted to conquer it. So when he came to fight, when he came to battle with the people of Kalinga, everyone from Kalinga, everyone, they went, and then there was a very furious battle for many days. The battle of Kalinga took place on the banks of river Daya. After the battle finished, and it was a very ferocious battle, very much bloodshed. Bloodshed was it caused a lot of bloodshed, and many people died from both the sides. And in the evening, when Ashoka the Great, he went to the battleground, and he was moved by the scene. He saw the dying soldiers. They were just literally dying. They were half of the throat was cut, and they were just lying down like this and waiting for death. And just in front of him, many died. He saw wives wailing to their dead husband, soldiers who fought in the battle. He saw mothers weeping tragically, pathetically. They were crying, growling. he saw children, they were just crying on the dead bodies of their father. And then he gave a glance at the river water of Daya. And the blood of the battlefield which flowed down to river Daya had made the water of river Daya red. He was moved by the scene. His mind got changed. He thought, what did he do? I have just butchered the people. As a butcher cuts the goat, I have butchered this thing. I have butchered the people like animals. What did I do? He got moved. And then, from that day onwards, he vowed not to do bloodshed again. Not to pick up the weapon. Not to go to battlefield. Not to fight against anyone. And he became the agent of peace. He embraced Buddhism. And then he started teaching peace. He took care of his subjects, his people. He facilitated them with every amenities, whether it was food, whether it was shelter, whether it was healthcare, any problem they had, he met with them, he solved their problems. And in later on chapters, in standard 9, 10, you will be reading that Ashoka the Great had contributed a lot to Indian history. That one you will be reading again. Ashoka then sent a team to various parts of the country, even to Sri Lanka, to Thailand, to Indonesia he had sent. Even we can find the teachings of Buddha, which Ashoka made. It was inscribed on iron pillars, on stones, on rocks. Inscribed, it was dug and written. It was carved on the metal pillars, on the rocks, and he preached peace. After Ashoka, after the decline of the Mauryan Empire, then came to existence the Gupta Empire. Gupta Empire. The Gupta Empire existed in India between 320 CE, after the birth of Christ, to 550 CE. It was founded by Sri Gupta, and then it was succeeded by his son, grandson, and so on. It was succeeded by Chandragupta first, then Samudragupta, then Chandragupta second, and gradually it was succeeded by their successors and all. This period was also not a very poor period. These people were also nice, mighty kings. People in this period were also prosperous. They were having nice amenities. They were having good facilities of everything they wanted. During this period is also very famous for wealth and prosperity, as per history, pages of history we know when we read, because the historians believe that wealth and prosperity, trade, art, craft, everything flourished in this period. Then we come to know that in this period there was a very nice literary development. Many writers, many experts, they wrote many books and all. Sages like Kalidas, the authors like Kalidas, Aryabhat, Varahamihira, and Vatsayana, Vishnu Sharma, they had made the creation during the Gupta Empire. Kalidas, the author of Meghdut, the author of Shakuntala, Vishnu Sharma, the author of famous Panchatantra. All these creations, all this creativity was done during the Gupta Dynasty. And it was just going smoothly, and Harshavardhan, a mighty king of Vardhan Dynasty. Next dynasty is Vardhan Dynasty. Harshavardhan of Vardhan Dynasty overpowered the Gupta Empire and established the Vardhan Dynasty. Thus, our chapter 1 comes to an end. Children, I tell you, not one time, many times I tell you that if you have any queries, if you have any questions, any doubt, please send your questions in the WhatsApp group. I will be solving. Now that today we have finished chapter 1, I am going to post you this video. Then we'll have an interactive class where I will clarify all your doubts. If you have any doubt, time and again I am telling you, please post your doubts in WhatsApp group and I will clear it. Thank you. Have a nice day.